Hey, thanks for taking the time today to talk, and let me tell you a little bit about Platform as a Service, which is Oracle's private cloud solution. But more importantly, I really want to understand what your goals and aspirations are, needs and desires going forward, right? So I put down some meeting objectives. Really, I want to come away with a common understanding of what Platform as a Service is, and really align your strategic goals with that to see if that is something that might be of interest to you going forward, right? So we hear a pretty consistent theme as far as challenges from our customers and clients today, that they really want to deliver solutions faster. And that really equates to growth in your particular case, and that really comes directly from your CEO out of the annual report, is how do we grow this business faster? And particularly in this depressed economy and with the ability to improve the overall service levels and our processes associated with that. We need to do a better job of that. And so we need to also drive cost out of the organization from an IT perspective and become more efficient, right? So we also hear about other areas of challenges that customers are interested in exploring, right? And basically agility. That's what we've talked about here with the challenges, right? You know, we're not doing things fast enough. We got to be able to meet the business demands, and we have to be able to do it quickly, right? So IT typically is perceived possibly as not really being in total alignment with what the business needs and requirements are. So we really got to bridge that gap and that delta and bring it together and make it make you guys more of a strategic partner to the business units, right? Risk, you know, there's some. Obviously, within your governance department, there's governance and compliance issues, and what we really want to be able to do there, right? If you look at the governance folks, they want to drive risk out of the organization as much as they can. You're never going to ultimately get there, but how do you mitigate that risk? How do you take the improved service levels and the ability to move faster, but still at the same time minimize the risk associated with that? That's tricky to do. And then thirdly, obviously, is cost, okay? A lot of organizations are looking to reallocate their budget. How do they spend the money? Currently, they're spending it on operations, and wouldn't it be nice if you could spend more of that money on your innovative and new growth initiatives that you have going on right there, right? So driving cost out of the organization is important. So we've established as a major player in the private cloud arena some key capabilities that we've come to know that are near and dear to clients and customers' heart, right? So the standard shared platform, service catalogs, chargebacks, right? Self-service capabilities, multi-tenancy, centralized management environment, as well as enterprise systems, right? So those are the key capabilities that we're talking about. So we'll come back and we'll address some of these challenges, and we have some proof points that we want to talk to you about where GE was able to essentially drive faster development by 1,000%, right? So the proof's in the pudding there. So I feel very comfortable that I can come in here today and talk to you about this and know that this is an area that we can really partner with you to help drive your overall success. U.S. Customs, we were able to drive costs down by 75%, and Alpha Natural Resources now can boast of a 99.95% availability rating, right? So let's talk about Platform as a Service, okay? And at the end, let me step back just quickly. I'd like to be able to maybe develop some next steps as to what we're going to do. If this resonates with you in the end, and this is something that you'd like to explore a little bit in more detail, we'll establish some next steps as we go forward. All right, so let's talk about Platform as a Service and what we really have there, okay? A lot of people come to us and they start infrastructure as a service, okay? This infrastructure as a service is your hardware, your compute, your storage, network capabilities, all part of the virtualized and operating system, right? So that's what the infrastructure as a service piece of this is, okay? We think there's more value that can be had. You know, the more value really that we can bring is the platform as a service. And there are two major areas within the platform as a service, okay? They are database as a service, as well as middleware as a service, okay? So database as a service, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's your online analytical applications and the processing thereof. And then middleware as a service, this is your application server, your identity, and your integration and your overall customer experience, right? Coupled with a number of other components to that, right? So platform as a service, now you have your applications that are going to sit obviously on top of that, and these are, you know, outrunning, and there's some key capabilities, right, that you're going to be able to derive from this new architecture, and that's what we're talking about, is establishing a new architecture, an architecture that is going to provide you the agility that you need to be able to develop faster. This is going to allow you to do application development in days as opposed to what maybe used to take months, okay? It's a broad statement, I understand that, but in more, you know, devil's in the detail there. But basically, this is what we've found to be the case, is that you can essentially speed the process, and that's what you're looking to do. So that's your platform as a service, the ability to become more agile. It minimizes your risk, and you're hopefully being able to do more with less, which is really what you're chartered with as an organization. That's the tough part. So now that begs the question: what about my legacy systems? What about what I currently have? Okay, same scenario here. Let me go back. Let me just go back here. What this allows you to do is become your own internal private cloud provider, okay, to the organization. So that's, you know, a lot of you know, your lines of business are looking outside of the organization to private cloud providers, you know, because they're hearing about the capabilities that can be provided. Well, you could be your own private cloud provider to your internal, their lines of business. So now let's talk about the legacy systems, right? And so, you know, we have the standard siloed approach, which is, you know, been around. You've got your standardization and consolidation arena, and then you've got optimized, right? So the whole platform as a service has been optimized for consolidation, okay? It's been optimized for consolidation. This is also where Oracle has developed a methodology for you to be able to document what your current environment is, and also to create that vision for you going forward, right? So now we've got the legacy components of that, and we've established the net new development piece over here. This is net new. Sorry, failed to mention that. Net new development. And now this is your legacy, you know, your legacy component of that. You know, so those now will also, you know, take advantage of the key capabilities that this overall architecture, this new architecture, this roadmap that we've created for you is going to allow you going forward, right? All right, so so we've addressed, excuse me, agility, you know, the ability to do more with less, the ability to do it faster. We're hopefully mitigating the risk associated with that and the compliance and governance issues that are associated with that. And then the cost. How do we drive cost out of the organization and take advantage of this new platform? Then the beauty of this is, particularly in the legacy arena, this is allowing you to really move at your own pace, right? This is what's appropriate for you within your organization and what's appropriate for you within your culture. Everyone obviously moves at different speeds, but this gives you the baseline to build going forward. Okay, so that being said, let's talk about next steps. Okay, so there's a number of ways that we can jump into this and move forward, right? So one of the areas that we can do is basically a visioning session. Let's talk about, you know, bringing in one of our architects, our engineers and architects, some of our smart folks, to sit down with your individuals and to really drive and drill down into some of the details associated with where would you start, how would you start, and maybe begin to prioritize some of the areas and issues that you might have, and begin to ultimately, okay, address these challenges that you have. Secondly, is we have a plethora of online seminars, webinars, just great information that can be had out there on a self-paced basis, right? So you can get out there and I can get you some information associated with that, so you can basically go out and do a lot of that on your own while we're setting up some of the visioning pieces of that, if that sounds fair to you, right? And then thirdly is we have a number of basically seminars, that addresses the platform as a service and the Oracle's private cloud solution as well. All right, so that takes care of some of our next steps. So all that being said, thanks for your time and I appreciate it, and we'll get in touch.